Well, a little bit of fence to do here. Got to do some fencing. That's just one of the many chores when you're working on the farm. You know, I'm going to say, for the sake of design, that okay, we know the sun's behind us and it's off to our right and above us. So if that fence is only a few feet back from the face of this building, then our shadow line, which is really important, will be something starting around here. Okay, that's just a reference for the moment. But this is the color I want to use. I've loaded my brush with, whoops, with raw umber, and yellow ochre, and some white. I want to keep my chromas down as we are near the edge of the painting. Values up, that's fine, I don't mind that, but I don't want to make it too interesting, if you know what I mean. Oops. Little bits of junk in that paint. It's unavoidable. You're always going to get a bit of that. Best you can do is try to keep your palette clean, your paints clean, and your brushes clean. And if you get a bit of skin over your paint on the palette, then try to remove it if you can, or at least dig through it and move the skin aside and stick to only the soft, fresh paint underneath. Maybe it's time to add just a hint of wet ultramarine blue to it. I'll do that. Just a bit. Just, cooling it off a little bit. Yeah, I like that notion. A little ultramarine blue, a little more raw umber. Just for the darker spots. As you can see, the tip of this brush is getting rounded off quite a bit. So it's becoming less effective for making square forms, which is okay. I want something like that. A little more yellow ochre. A little more white. Yeah, I've got this quite toned down. Maybe a little too much. Maybe not. We'll see. Whoops, sorry. Mr. Camera Bumper. Okay, that's got that covered. I've established this. I'm gonna sit back in my lazy chair. No, I'm gonna sit back lazily in my chair and decide if my angle looks okay. Well, I think the shadow angle on that stretch of fence is just fine. I like how it came out. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna move over to the right and work a little bit on the building on the right. We're going to paint some trim. We all know how important it is to paint the trim on a roof. It's just part of good maintenance. Well, you probably noticed I've added a bit of value to a few of these fence slats. They were a bit dull. I thought they could use some strength because they are going to be sitting against a fairly high value here, and there is a lot of high value here. So, high value, you know what I mean. Light colors, bright colors. But I thought I would take these fence colors and use the same wood on the trim. So let's just see. I made the mistake already in this painting. Right around here, which I may adjust, maybe not. We'll see how the rest of the painting goes. But I went too high value here, too bright, just too light, and I think I'd like to avoid that. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I can take it up a notch. A little bit of white, a little yellow ochre. All right. Something like that. Pretty fat trim on there, but I'm okay with it. A little more white and adding a little yellow ochre. We're getting a little more intense yet. Actually, I'm gonna do that here too. I know it's kind of a strange shape for the top of this roof, but I kind of like to add things into paintings that can make the viewer scratch their head a little bit and say, well, you know, that's kind of interesting. Why did he do that? I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why I do that. Maybe it's just because I like to be a nuisance. Nope, I'm going to run it straight through. And I'm going to go a little bit lighter. More white, more yellow ochre. Okay. And I think that's a little bit grayer on the trim. Might not be the only trim on that building, but I wanted to establish the values in color because I didn't want the only area of this type of gray to be there. I wanted to bring it somewhere else in the painting. It may even end up showing up on these little nibs, showing up on on the ends of the roof, or maybe on part of the door frame. I don't know. Kind of like to spread it out a little bit. But something I'm feeling fairly confident about is that I would like to. This is going to be an old tree stump, and I'm going to go back into these colors a little bit to show that. So, it serves to be a good color for a tree stump, as well as actually bringing some of these colors over here. Let's see here. Okay, and that is burnt sienna. Gonna add a bit of ultramarine blue to it, because that's going to be the shady side. The first stroke is going to be the shady side. I don't want it too dark. Okay. Now we're going to go into some straight burnt sienna and white. just showing the old roots going into the ground there. And we're going to add a little more white to that mixture. Now we're going to go back to the a little bit darker here. Okay, sorry about my grunting and groaning here. Okay. I've got a really hard line on this side. And I just want to soften that. Okay, that'll do. If I keep playing, it'll just get weaker. Okay, tree stump and trim. I think I'll leave it at that for now. We'll get into some of these intense reds now in these two buildings. You know, this is the main one. It's going to need the highest value, highest chroma will have to be in this area, you know, between these two walls. This one's slightly stronger than this one. And then this building is, you know, for example, maybe, I don't know, 30, 50 feet behind this one. So I'll have to use, I want to use the same color theme, but I need to tone it down just a little bit. Anyway, that's going to be fun.